The Arctic Research Station was a tomb of steel and frost, buried under a sky that hadn't seen sunlight in months. Dr. Lena Voss had come here to study the ice cores, ancient layers that held secrets of the Earth's past. But the ice held more than history. It held voices. It began on the third night of the polar winter. Lena was alone in the lab, the hum of the generator a constant companion, when she heard it, a faint murmur, like wind through a crack, but there was no wind inside the station. She adjusted her headphones, thinking it was interference from the equipment. The sound sharpened. Lena, it sighed. She froze, her breath catching in her throat. The voice was soft, almost tender, but it knew her name. She tore off the headphones, her pulse racing, and scanned the empty lab. The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly. The ice core samples sat on the table, glistening under the sterile glow. Nothing else moved. The station was small, housing only 4 researchers, and the others were asleep in their bunks. Lena checked the logs. No radio signals, no external transmissions. She told herself it was stress, the isolation playing tricks on her mind. But when she put the headphones back on, the voice was waiting. "Come down, Lena." Dr. Eric Solberg, the team's geologist, laughed it off the next morning. "You've been staring at ice too long," he said, sipping his coffee. "This place gets to everyone eventually." But his eyes lingered on her, a flicker of unease beneath his smirk. Lena didn't tell him about the drill site. The station sat above a crevasse, a jagged scar in the ice that plunged deeper than their instruments could measure. They'd been drilling there for weeks, pulling up cores that dated back millennia. That afternoon, Lena suited up and descended to the site alone, her breath fogging her visor. The crevasse loomed below, a maw of blue-black shadow that seemed to swallow the light from her headlamp. The voice came again, clearer now, rising from the depths. "We've been waiting." She stumbled, her boots slipping on the ice. The drill rig stood silent, its cables swaying slightly, though there was no breeze. The air felt heavy, pressing against her chest, and the ice beneath her feet vibrated with a low, resonant hum. She knelt, pressing her gloved hand to the surface. The ice was warm, impossibly warm. "Lena," Eric's voice crackled through her radio, sharp with panic. "Get back up here, now." She turned to climb, but the ice shifted. A crack split the surface, spider webbing outward, and the hum became a growl. Something moved in the crevasse below, a shadow, vast and fluid, coiling like smoke. The voice turned into a chorus, overlapping, pleading, commanding. "Stay with us." Lena scrambled up the rope, her heart pounding, the cold burning her lungs. Eric was waiting at the top, his face pale, eyes wide. "What the hell was that?" he demanded, pulling her into the station. The door slammed shut behind them, the sound echoing through the empty halls. The lights flickered, the generator whined, then died. In the darkness, the voices surged, no longer confined to the crevasse. They seeped through the walls, the floor, the air itself, a cacophony of whispers that clawed at Lena's mind. She clutched her head, trying to block them out, but they were inside her now. Eric grabbed her arm, dragging her toward the emergency shelter, but the station groaned, metal bending under an unseen weight. The temperature plummeted, frost creeping up the walls, and the shadows stretched, taking form, tall, thin, their limbs too long, their faces hollow. "They're awake," Lena whispered, her voice trembling. She didn't know how she knew, but the truth settled in her bones. The ice hadn't trapped them. It had protected her from them. The last thing she saw, before the shelter door sealed shut, was the ice core on the lab table, cracked open, something dark and liquid pooling beneath it, spreading like blood. The voices didn't stop. They never would.